Hey, it's Jang here from UltimateRC.com, and this is my review of the Thunder Tiger ER-4 G3 1/8 scale brushless electric rally car. Now, depending upon which dimension you actually measure on this thing and compare to the real WRC Mini Countryman rally car, the true scale is something between 1/7.5 and 1/6 scale. But they call it a 1/8 scale because it's based on a 1/8 scale buggy chassis, the EB-4. It's the exact same platform Thunder Tiger has used for their more recent Truggy, as well as the venerable MT-4 G3 monster truck. They've just used the buggy with arms and some lower profile shock towers. Like all the others in the line, this vehicle uses Thunder Tiger's trademark center cage system that easily opens up, revealing a plastic tub that's sitting on top of the metal chassis. The car has a center diff and an all-metal driveline except for the plastic spur, and power comes from a 2000 kV 40mm diameter true 1/8 scale motor. The ESC is a rebranded Hobbywing S8 RTR, which is an 80 amp sensorless only unit. The suspension features big bore plastic bodied shocks which are not threaded on the outside, and they use preload clips. Pillow ball style suspension means that you can easily adjust your camber, and they also have adjustable links for steering toe. The front axles use CV shafts while the rears use dog bones. Rear suspension uses more traditional H-arms at the bottom and camber links at the top that are adjustable. They don't give you much room for shock geometry adjustments, and surprisingly the car does not come with sway bars pre-installed, though you can easily add them. Wheels and tires appear to follow the 1/8 scale buggy standard with 17mm hubs. The tire compound is pretty hard though, and the foam inserts are not thick enough. As a result, the center of the tread is actually recessed, so this car is actually going to run on just the outsides of the tires. The radio is 2.4 GHz and it has steering trims and steering dual rate. They also give you throttle channel EPAs, but those are mainly for nitro vehicles. The spare parts bag includes some basic tools as well as some additional pivot blocks. These optional parts allow you to change your kick-up and toe-in. They include a handful of extra spring preload clips for adjusting your ride height, and for folks who have hard case 2S LiPo batteries, they give you this adapter with a jumper. Lets you turn two 2S's into one 4S, but only works with batteries that have 4mm plug-in terminals. First time I plugged in my battery and turned on the car, it went full throttle. With the car on one side and one side's wheels impeded from moving, that gave me 60 mph instant wheel speeds. Before I could turn it off, these two tires that were closest to me blew off their beads altogether, and one of them spit out the foam. And turn your head if you're squeamish. Turn your head, turn your head. I didn't need that skin and flesh. And burned and melted rubber embedded into your skin, well, that's a good thing, right? Moral of the story here, perform ESC calibration during the very first time that you turn the thing on. Don't trust the radio trims and don't trust the factory. Okay, with my tires reassembled and re-glued, I hit the parking lot, but I didn't hit it very hard. With proper ESC calibration and a fully charged 4S battery, the ER-4 topped out at 30 mph, 30. Not very impressive for such a big on-road styled vehicle. Simply put, this thing is badly under-geared out of the box. Acceleration is okay, not great. Handling is fine, but it tends to have a lot of understeer. I kind of had to work at overdriving it to get the rear end to kick loose. When I was able to get a little bit of oversteer going from the rear, didn't want to hold on to it. It's just not as exciting of a driving experience as I would expect from something like this, but it's not bad. There isn't anything particularly wrong with it. Except that. That's wrong. That is bad. With this little power, it spit out one of the foams from one of the tires that didn't try to kill me and have to be re-glued earlier. De-glue and re-glue your tires right from the start, or they'll de-glue themselves. In other words, don't trust the factory. With 3 tires re-glued now, and I guess 1 to go, I tried the Onroad track at NorCal Hobbies in Union City, California. Out here, the ER-4 did just fine. Still a little on the sluggish side, but traction was fine, traction balance front to rear was fine, and handling in the turns was just fine too. The car has some dive under braking, some squat under acceleration, and body roll in turns, but it just looked kind of scale. It was fun to drive. It's a very enjoyable driving experience, more enjoyable to drive than it is to watch. I had absolutely no complaints out here whatsoever. On gravel, on the other hand, things weren't quite so good. The tires just did not hook up at all. They literally spun the entire time and didn't allow me to get to, I don't know, maybe a third of my total top speed that's available. The car also became very tail happy out here. the opposite of how it performed on-road. You want a rally car to be able to drift through turns on a dirt surface like this, but it was really tough to sustain a drift. It wanted to just fishtail around or hook around in the opposite direction when it exited the drift. I also very quickly ran into this problem, a stuck parking brake. Obviously the car doesn't actually have an e-brake, it just got filled up with gravel in both of the rear wheels. Those little rocks were really jammed in there too, not something where I could just rock the car back and forward and have them come out on their own. Rocks also got jammed into the driveline and the suspension pin. It took several minutes and several tools to get everything cleared out after this one run. So next I tried a loose surface that's less rocky. This is the URC Bash Park at NorCal Hobbies. The way the surface was here is absolutely perfect for RC rally cars. And, well, anything that you want to throw a rooster tail with. This is the type of surface on which the ER-4 needed to do well. And in my opinion, it only did okay. It really bounces around a lot, has a problem with traction in all directions, and again, the extreme oversteer at the rear was annoying to say the least. It really performed like a pure on-road car. I know this because I've driven plenty of pure on-road cars on surfaces like this, including the jumps. A rally car based on an off-road 8th scale buggy platform needs to do better, and it needs to not do this. Those wheels are like rock vacuum cleaners. Okay, one more test in stock form, this time on a surface with no rocks. I've driven all of my rally cars on off-road tracks like this, and none of them have done superbly well. However, none of them have done as poorly as this one did. Massive, massive understeer that sometimes turns into massive sudden oversteer. Tons of difficulty putting the power down in a straight line. A lot of concentration required. And over jumps, it wanted to nose down badly. I had to stay 100% full on the throttle over every jump to have any chance of not completely nosediving off of every one. The car felt unpredictable and completely out of its element. No fun at all. Clearly tires are the primary problem here, but thankfully since this is a 1/8 scale buggy underneath, I just fitted up some Proline Blockade pre-mounted low-profile 8th scale buggy racing tires. They fit on, but they don't fit. There's very little room to raise the ride height on this car, and also little room to raise the body height. As soon as the suspension compresses a little bit, these things rub badly. Even fairly low-profile racing tires like these are just way bigger than stock. So I found these Thunder Tiger rally tires at Tower Hobbies. Nice tread, but man, these things are stiff though. They have firm closed cell inserts and an anti-ballooning ridge around the center. To mount those tires, I got some Thunder Tiger brand 8th scale rally wheels. These have thin, widely spaced spokes, which I'm hoping will allow gravel to escape easily, because I want this car to redeem itself. Redemption denied. These tires are made for the ER-1, a previous generation rally car which used proprietary smaller wheels. Check them out, left to right. ER-1 rally tires, ER-4 rally tires, and standard-sized buggy tires. In other words, I'm screwed. There are plenty of ultra-low profile street-specific tires that'll fit, but anything with useful tread and a little bit of squishiness just isn't going to fit. Well, that does it for me. I'm done. To drive anywhere but on the street with some level of proficiency, this thing needs new tires. To fit new tires, I need to purchase and paint up an expensive aftermarket body, something with more generous fenders, or cut, drill, and retap my suspension arms to be shorter, pulling the wheels way inboard. That's more work than I'm willing to do right now, and it's definitely way more than anybody should ever be expected to have to do to get expected performance out of a vehicle. The footage you're looking at now is driving around at pretty much 1/2 throttle. It's the only way I was able to get a halfway decent driving experience out of this thing on dirt, and I think that's pretty sad. Any 8th scale buggy platform like this has lots of potential for being a great rally car, but this is a really poor rally car. I can get performance this good or better out of a 1/10 scale touring car based rally, something half this size. And you know what, let me just stop ragging on this car now. I don't like it. Period. I think it's an okay on-road car, a terrible rally car. And that's it for this review. If you want to see more footage of this thing driving on all of the surfaces that I tested, check out my raw driving videos which are on my channel. I've got over 20 minutes of raw, pretty much unedited footage there with no music, no soundtrack, just giving you the pure sights and sounds of driving this thing around to help you form your own opinions and come to your own conclusion. As always, if you didn't like this video here, please be sure to hit thumbs down on the video bar. Otherwise, if you liked it, please hit thumbs up. Either way helps me out the same, and your feedback is appreciated. Catch you later.